Alright, what's good, everyone? So, we're bringing back the OG YouTube content format of just talking over some gameplay. Except I actually did the gameplay. It's not, I didn't just, it's Lucky Block Skywars on Hypixel. Genuinely one of the most fun, video games ever, honestly, ever. It's so fun. But, that's not, that's whatever, it's not important. But okay, you know what? As low effort as pretty much all of these videos where I don't know, I kind of missed them, right? Like things were just different. Like not everyone was actively trying to overstimulate your senses in any way possible just to keep you watching. But yeah, I mean, whatever. This is about my future as an artist. I'm honestly not too sure why I want to make this video, but it's been on my mind for a while and I just feel like I have to get it out there. I guess you can see this as like a form of time capsule, right? Like let's see how this is going to age in like 5 years or something. But either way, throughout the last around 2 months of my life, I would say, has been like the biggest transitional period in my life. And it's not even because anything major happened, really. It was just like a mental change. Like it was just a change in how I view myself and how I view my own life and what I want to do with my own life. Because right now I'm very dead set on making a living with making music. And I've talked to people about this like RL, and I've kind of always gotten the same response. It's kind of like, yeah, well, that's cool, you want to do that, but you should also have like a plan B, right? And I know they mean well, but I can't help it. I feel kind of offended, honestly, when people say that. Because it's like, what are you implying? Like, are you implying that I can't make it? Are you implying that it's too risky to be like, are you implying that it's not reasonable? And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm very much aware that this is like a very, let's say, risky career path, a career path that's like, I mean, it would just be plain easier to just get a normal job. And so that's like the thing, like, why not just get a normal job, right? Why not just make an have an apprenticeship, get a job, get some money, whatever. But I tried. I was in a dorm for like a year, trying to do an apprenticeship in IT, and it didn't work out. I could, throughout an entire year, I could probably count the times I was actually on time to the apprenticeship on like both my hands. Probably just one of my hands. Really, it was probably just like a handful of times where I was actually on time. And it's like, it's always like, why can I not get the motivation? Why am I like this? Why can I just not like get myself to do this? And, I was very frustrated. But there's a reason. There's always a reason for things like that. And for me personally, I just have this very, I would say, like this big cluster of like conflicted emotions when it comes to work, school, or really everything resembling that. Because honestly, the later part of my school life was genuinely the single most miserable time I've ever had in my life. Like school fucking broke me, genuinely, amongst other things, but school was It was so terrible. It was so terrible. I distinctly remember one time I sat in math class, and I felt completely paralyzed. I probably had like a major panic attack. It was, I really just like sat there for the entire 90 minutes, staring at the wall, not doing anything that the teacher, like not doing any of the tasks that I was supposed to do. I sat there and I stared, and the guy that sat next to me noticed, the teacher noticed. They kind of like talked to me about it. Well, I tried to, but I was being very dismissive of it. I didn't really want to talk. I distinctly remember that it was not good. Every single day eventually I dropped out of school, like a couple months after I started attending the 11th grade. But it wasn't like a decision. Like I was not like, okay, I'm gonna drop out now, this is bullshit, I'm gonna drop out now. It was like a process. Every day I woke up, it just got like I was panicking. I woke up, I was immediately panicking because I knew I had to go to school. Every day I did go to school. The entire time on my way, I desperately tried to just calm myself down by any means, with music, with like mental exercises, but I was always anxious. On my way to school, I was anxious because I knew school was happening. During school, I was anxious because it was school and it was the worst fucking thing ever. And when I went home, I was anxious because I knew that like tomorrow, all of this is gonna happen again. I'll have to go to school again. I'll have to go through this entire shit again. But it wasn't very good. And right now, it's like, whenever I try to, for example, in the apprenticeship, there was always this deeply rooted resistance, constant resistance towards what I was doing. And I felt so exhausted after every day. Like working 8 hours a day, that's genuinely, I cannot imagine that. I cannot imagine working like a quote-unquote normal job for 8 hours a day. That is far more unrealistic for me than to make a living out of music, honestly. Because even in the end, that dorm was like specifically made for people with like mental illnesses or people who are mentally challenged. And I was there because of my past with like severe depression and severe anxiety disorder. And even in this environment where everything was like more forgiving, more supportive, right? Where you had people to talk to about these things, where they would like give you more chances, people would be nicer to you. Even then, after only like even 2 hours, I would be so exhausted. Like, and I already said how I was literally like never on time. On top of that, I would also just like often take breaks, just like when I didn't actually have a break, or I would extend my breaks, just because it was so exhausting. And then still every single day when I went back into my dorm room, I would just fall onto my bed, not having energy to do anything, and that really depressed me. It really frustrated me, because I also didn't have energy to make music. I was only really able to make music on weekends, because I just lacked the energy throughout the rest of the week. And when right now it's like when I'm not able to like make music for I was very sick like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I wasn't really able to be on my PC for like 2 or 3 days because I had like fever. And even though I was literally like pretty much physically not able to work on music, it it had like a toll on my mental health that I wasn't able to make music, that I wasn't able to like be creative. I really do think I am a person that needs that. I need to be creative, otherwise I go mad. I was like sleeping over like a whole weekend at a friend's the other day. Shout out to Jasper, I fucking love you. And even then it was like I asked him if I can like make a beat on his Apple laptop. I've never used an Apple laptop in my life, and it only had GarageBand, which like, what a stupid program. Why are there like so many like essential like things you cannot do in that program? Like, you know, at the end of the day I was able to make a beat and I had an awesome time making the beat, but oh my god, it was still like kind of frustrating sometimes, because there's just like so many stupid things about like Apple laptops that I wasn't familiar with. Like it genuinely, Deadass took like 10-15 minutes for me to like even like download the files, get the files into GarageBand and everything. You know, probably didn't help that I was on shrooms, but that doesn't matter right now. Hold up, let me drink a bit of orange juice first. So, but yeah, either way, so I'm out of the dorm now. I'm not doing the apprenticeship anymore, and I think I've kind of gone to realize that me not really being able to work 8 hours a day, that's not an issue, right? Like, it's not an issue. I should respect myself, as in I should accept that I just really love making music and not really anything else. Like, genuinely, making music, making art is like the one thing that gives me a will to live and the one thing that makes me happy. But it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. It gives me a massive will to live. Like, I've been like constantly suicidal for 3 to 4 years straight. I was so fucking miserable. Like, it had such a toll on like my mental health. I couldn't like, I watched The Godfather once during like my peak depressive like period, and dude, I didn't understand anything. That was like a constant theme with like shows or movies that I watched. I just didn't understand anything because my mind was like so occupied with all of these like just depressed thoughts. I was dead ass just like working at like 100% mental capacity throughout all these years, just because of like my mental state. Like, I was watching Beastars that time too, dead ass after the entire first season. I wasn't able to remember Haru's name, who is like literally like the like second main character. It took me half the season to even remember Legoshi's name. That's the main character, in case you're not familiar. It took me half a season, that's like 6 episodes, to remember the main character's name. And it wasn't a lack of intellect. It was just that I genuinely could not fucking focus on anything. Like all my days I was just watching like shit just to like stimulate my brain, just to distract myself. I didn't gain anything from anything that I watched. But yeah, I was talking about The Godfather. I'm not gonna spoil anything, don't worry, but just know that at the end there was like a scene where someone saw something and then they were like really shocked. I didn't fucking understand any of that. I did not understand it, like anything. I didn't know any of the characters' names. I didn't know any of the characters' motivations. I didn't even know where the movie took place. I didn't understand any of the conflicts. and I watched I watched the whole movie, and at the end I knew just as much about the movie as I did before I watched it. That's depressing. That's really depressing. But now I'm doing much better. Like, now I've admitted to myself, all right, well, if making music is like what really makes me happy, then I have a right to do that. And I want to do that for the rest of my life, genuinely. And I don't want to do anything else for the rest of my life, like to make money. And I will spend every last cent I have on like advertising my music, on getting my music out there, because this is truly what I want to do with my life. And I'm very well aware that it's gonna take a while if I will succeed at all. I'm not expecting much, like, I'm not really expecting to make any serious money off of it for the next 5 years. But you know, eventually, I will keep trying. I will definitely keep trying. I make music every single day, of course. Like, it's my favorite thing to do on the whole world. And you know, even if in 10 or 20 years I will still be nowhere close to earning money with my music, and then I don't know, I get cancer or something, and then but you know, even then I can like lay on my deathbed and at least like think to myself, all right, I stayed true to myself. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I always tried my hardest. I always put all of my heart and all of my soul into my music and into my art. And I had a great time. Right now I'm having a great time. Like, right now, technically I'm unemployed, even though I don't personally really see it like that. Like, personally, the way I see it, I'm like at the start of my music making career, right? And it's like, genuinely, I would love, I would really love to just like have a normal job and maybe just do music on the side. But having a normal job depresses me. And I don't want it, because it depresses me, and I'm not willing to give up like my own happiness just because people like expect me to have like a concrete, like a safer job, right? You know, it's also complicated. It's also I'm not like blinded by some like delusion of like being popular and being like famous and shit. I don't even think I would really like that aspect of like making music. But that's kind of the thing. It's necessary to be popular if you want to make a living off of music, which is what I want to do. And you know, despite that, like I'm hopeful for the future. Like, I don't see this as like some sort of like Hail Mary, right? Like some like last resort, something that I just like do because there's nothing else left to do, which, you know, actually that's kind of the case. There really isn't nothing. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of exactly what this is though. There's nothing much left to do for me except making music. But I don't mind that. You know, I mean, I kind of love it, honestly. And you know, but still, I'm hopeful for sure. Like, over the past month, I've gained like 150 Spotify followers, which, you know, it's not that much, but it got me from 100 to 250. So like, relatively seen, that's a lot. That's so many people. And just because, you know, the Spotify algorithm has been picking up my music. I'm not really sure why, but it has been picking up my music. It has been suggesting it to newer people. And just having this thought in my head of like, all right, these people, they heard my music, however they may have heard it, and then they thought to themselves, like, they made the conscious decision to go onto my profile and click on the follow button. Like, they thought to themselves, okay, I'm really digging what this person's doing. I want to notice it. I want to be aware of like any new releases that they put out. And to me, that's really heartwarming. And it means a lot to me. even though, you know, right now I'm at like 250 followers, I'm very well aware that that's not a lot, but it still means the world to me. My music means the world to me. It really does. I'm gonna have a busy 2025, right? Because now I'm like really like able to focus on it. Like I have all day, and I spend a significant time of my days making music. I'm gonna release a lot of music in 2025 for sure. Like a large amount of music, right? I have like, hold up, I have like you know, January 1st, I will release And You Dance With No Regret, which is like my trap cloud rap album. I have like a whole ass like vapor / plunderphonics / art pop album, which is like pretty much done. I have a collaboration project with LMAO, which is also like, the production on it is pretty much already complete. It just needs like lyrics and vocals and everything. I have a lot of like songs for like a Nothing at All sequel, which is probably going to be called Bystander. I have a bunch of other like hip hop projects. I have like collabs with other people that I want to do this year. I mean, my god, like, just, you know, the thought that I have like so much time to make music really truly makes me very happy. I'm very happy. I'm a happy person. I'm not suicidal anymore, which I think is really beautiful. I'm thinking about whether I have something else to say. Well, you know, so I hope you support me. I hope you at least respect my decision. I don't even want you, I don't even need you to support me. I also don't need you to respect me, but I would really appreciate it if you would at least respect my decision to do this. Because, you know, there's as I said that at the beginning of this, but a lot of people like IRL were kind of just like, oh, you know, maybe look for a plan B if this doesn't work out. But like, that's not really what, like, that's not what my mindset is like. Like, I'm not like, all right, let's try this out and let's see if it works, right? And if it works, cool. If not, sure, I'll do something else. Like, this is it. This is the thing. This is the thing I want to do with my life. There's nothing else I want to do with my life. This is the thing. It either works out or it doesn't. There's no plan B. I don't want to do anything else. If it works out, cool. If it doesn't work out, fuck it. That's also cool. Because again, I will have this big discography that I've built up over the years, and I'll be able to look onto it and I'll be able to say, I tried my hardest. I always tried my hardest. I put everything into this, I tried my hardest. And, you know, I guess it didn't work out. I do have a lot of confidence in my music though. I think the approach I have to cloud rap is something really special, something very unique. And I'm almost certain that there is definitely like a big enough audience for it. But the thing is, I just need to reach this audience. And, you know, I do have like quite some money saved up. Like, it's like in the very low 5-digit range. Like a very low 5-digit range. But that's like a very considerable amount of money. And like, I'll definitely be able to like do something with that. I'm excited for the future. I'm anxious about the future, of course, but I'm also very excited for it. You know. But just know that if I'll be able to make a living off of my music, even if it's just the bare minimum, I don't even want to be rich. I don't even care about being rich. Even if it's just the bare minimum for me to like survive, I'll be the happiest person on this planet. Well, okay, maybe not the okay, you know, happiness is a very abstract concept. You can't just say like, I'm happier than you. Happiness is very personal. I just know for myself that would be peak. That would be peak life. Even right now, I feel like I'm like having like a peak life because I can do what I want to do all day. But right now, there's this constant like there's this constant like thought of like, you know, what if it's not gonna work? Because right now I'm not popular. I mean, obviously I'm not popular. I'm not even close to being popular. But that's the goal. That's the goal. I will try my absolute hardest to reach it. And that's it. Thank you all so much for supporting me. If you're seeing this, just know that you are like, you are part of you are part of this thing in my mind that means everything to me. Alright. I think that's it. Thank you very much for listening.